कुरु त्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरु त्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते।
India's leading Kathak exponent and Padma Vibhushan awardee, Pandit Birju Maharaj, was the torchbearer of the Lucknow style of Kathak. A rare combination of virtuosity and expression, grace and control, Pandit Birju Maharaj's oeuvre was also about his interpret belief that dance could convey just about everything. Dance is a conversation between body and soul. Dance is your pulse, your heartbeat, your breathing. It's the rhythm of your life. Unfortunately, Panditji is no longer a part of our physical world. It is difficult to come to terms to this fact. This year, we lost another legendary artist, Bharat Ratna Sushri Lata Mangeshkar, the undisputed melody queen of India, a singer with moonlight in her throat, a legend in her lifetime. The ease with which one can lapse into superlatives when words fail to express the depth and scope of genius is best illustrated in the case of Lataji. The demise of Pandit Birju Maharaj and Lataji mark the end of an era. It also leaves a deep void in the Indian music and cultural space, for they have immortalized performing arts in the most inimitable way. And today, we, the students of Gyan Bharati Saket, pay a humble tribute to these iconic artists by dedicating our annual cultural program to late Pandit Birju Maharaj and Lataji. They will always remain in our hearts. सर्वः तरतु दुर्गाणि सर्वभद्राणि पश्यतु सर्वः सद्बुद्धिम् आप्नोतु सर्वः सर्वत्र नन्दतु. May all men overcome difficulties, may all see welfare, may all attain wisdom, and may all be happy everywhere. With this hope in our heart, we, the students and faculty members of Gyan Bharati School, warmly welcome you all to our annual function 2021-22. Cultural programs form the very fabric of our school's ideology of Khel Khel Mein Khushi Khushi Se, creating an atmosphere of joyful learning and growth. This day gives the students a platform to harbor their skills and talents and also express themselves through various performing arts. Annual Day is our school's legacy and holds a revered place in the hearts of its students and teachers. So let us commence today's cultural program by invoking the blessings of Ma Saraswati. Let us hope that the brightness of education will eradicate darkness of prejudices and negativity and lead us to growth, peace and prosperity.
शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिः परब्रह्म दीपज्योतिर्जनार्दनः दीपज्योतिर्परब्रह्म दीपज्योतिर्जनार्दनः दीपो हरतु मे पापं सन्ध्यादीप नमोऽस्तुते.
It's my privilege to announce that Mr. Manoj Ahuja, a 1990 IS officer and the chairman of CBSE, is our guest of honor. We are thankful to Sir for accepting our invitation and for sending his best wishes on this joyous occasion. We would now like to invite our respected principal, Ms. Jyoti Saxena ma'am, to address the gathering and convey her best wishes on this memorable occasion.
Namaste, good evening. Our esteemed Chief Guest, Honorable Chairman, distinguished members of the Board of Governors, revered members of Parents-Teacher Association, our valued parents, other distinguished guests, and my dear children. On behalf of Gyan Bharati School fraternity, I extend a warm welcome to all of you. It's indeed my privilege to introduce you to our chief guest for today's function, Professor Namita Ranganathan. Mrs. Namita Ranganathan is a professor at Department of Education, Central Institute of Education, University of Delhi. She has over 30 years of teaching experience in teacher education programs. Her specializations are in the area of developmental psychology, personality psychology, and education for mental health. She has been extensively engaged with the school across the country through various projects with the United Nations Population Fund, Care India, Aga Khan Foundation, and Save the Children, among others. She also has been on several management bodies of Kendriya Vidyalayas and several private schools. A hearty welcome to you, ma'am. We are honored with your benign presence. This year has indeed been a roller coaster ride with so many bumps, but to our credit, we did not get derailed even for a moment. We have seen through one of the most terrifying pandemic, and we have stood up with all the resilience and courage to overcome every challenge. The indomitable spirit of Gyan Bharati School is evident from the innumerable events organized this year by our students, teachers, under the able guidance and mentorship of Director Mrs. Lata Vaidyanathan. Events like audio-visual documentaries on cyclones, history of vaccines, Chipko movement, graphic novels on Chora Chori incident, the Champaran Satyagrah, self-help groups were created to be used as instructional material to motivate our young learners. Another star event was Leadership Camp to give a transformative experience to the student leaders. So our in-house production, Hosla, a beautiful blend of dance, music, and art, was conceptualized entirely by our students and teachers. A few years back, this was an unthinkable feat without having a physical presence to coordinate the finer aspects of such events. But these are the moments which will be cherished throughout your life, dear students, and as you walk down the golden era of childhood. And we as educators feel so proud and privileged to be a part of this school journey. So this is the time where life is like a canvas where all of you can paint your landscape. It is a time to choose, it's a time to nurture lifetime bondings, and it's time to explore and flourish. So the annual day marks another year of achievement and accomplishments and prepare a step closer to the life of adulthood you'll all be stepping into. So as we enjoy the events of the evening, we must realize that we cannot go back in time and change the beginning, but you can always start now and change the ending. And especially for my students, I would say that you are braver than you believe, smarter than you think, and stronger than you perceive. So in the end, I would say, खोल दे पंख मेरे कहता है परिंदा, अभी और उड़ान बाकी है. जमीन नहीं है मंजिल मेरी, अभी पूरा आसमान बाकी है. So thank you so much and enjoy and have a nice day. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your words of appreciation and inspiration. They have always shown us the right path and encouraged us to be a better version of ourselves. I now request Antara Chatterjee to take over.
Dance is the hidden language of the soul. We now begin our program with a graceful classical dance performance in Kathak, Odissi, and Bharatnatyam style. A moving and charismatic composition on Lord Krishna, the guardian of the universe. We present to you Pushpanjali, a tribute to the Lord whose blessings we seek for a healthy, happy, and successful life ahead.
Krishna, a Purna yogi, an epitome of consciousness, the one who achieved it all in one lifetime. the one who defined fresh frontiers of life in each role he played. A son everyone craves for, a friend who you seek, a lover that you need, a king you can become, a strategist who always wins, a brother, a citizen, and a master of masters. The one who mastered the science of attaining divinity and living it, not just with eyes closed, but with eyes open. The one who lived amongst us as one of us. The one who taught us that being divine is a possibility, and exploration any less is mediocrity. Unlock that divinity in you. Let the Krishna be born.
We are the world, we are the children, we are the ones to make a better day. So now, let's make the day better with a melodious song presentation by some very talented students of the primary department. We are the world. The timeless song promotes the idea of greatness of love, compassion, and the understanding that by showing empathy, we can overcome all challenges and look forward to a beautiful future ahead.
The theme of the song is based on the fact that everyone in the world is interconnected and part of God's big family. Love is something great and respectful. We should show our love, care, and kindness to our fellow mankind as we are one family. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are the students of the primary department of Gyan Bharati School showing our love and care to our people through this song. We are the world.
There comes a time when we hear a certain call, when the world must come together as one. There are people dying, and it's time to lend a hand to life, the greatest gift of all. We can go on pretending day by day that someone somewhere will soon make a change. We are all a part of God's great big family, and the truth in our love is all we need. We are the world, we are the children, we are the ones who make a brighter day. So let's start again. There's a choice we're making. We're saving our own lives. It should make a better day, just you and me. Send in your heart, so they know that someone cares, and their lives will be stronger and free. As God has shown us, today, so let's start giving. There's a choice we're making. We're saving our own lives. It should make a better day, just you and me. We are the world. We are the children. We are the ones who make a bright today, so let's start giving.
In the words of the celebrated poetess and philosopher Susie Kassam, without the orchestra of the universe, there would be no ether, and without the ether, there would be no waves, and without any waves, there would be no sound, and without sound, there would be no music. Where words fail, music speaks. To display a fusion of various instruments, we have with us 26 budding musicians of Gyan Bharati School Saket, bringing to you our orchestra recital Samarpit. Quite interestingly, there are two segments of today's presentation: Indian classical and Western instrumental. The great Indian philosopher, social leader, and the founder of Arya Samaj, Swami Dayanand Saraswati, has aptly defined the Indian instrumental music. In his words, though music transcends language, culture, and time, and though notes are the same, Indian music is unique because it is evolved, sophisticated, and melodies are defined. Today's Indian classical instrumental music is based on Rag Hansdwani. The Tal is based on the 6-beat Dadra. Hope you would appreciate this mesmerizing musical presentation. It will be followed by yet another scintillating presentation of Western instrumental music. The melodious orchestra is based on Rag Shivranjani and Tal is the 8-beat Keherwa. The blend of various instruments such as the conch shell, violin, melodica, mandolin, tabla, electric guitar, synthesizer, acoustic guitar, drums, and other percussion instruments have been used to bring out this harmonious masterpiece. Proudly presenting before you our orchestra recital, Samarpit.
by Sri Atal Bihari Vajpayee. The students of Gyan Bharati School, Saket, will serenade all of you with a powerful song that has continued to inspire you with its profoundly meaningful lyrics. It speaks of the united efforts put forth by a young generation, aptly symbolized by lighting a lamp together. At times when the darkness seems to be at its peak and humanity is yearning for going back to normalcy, forever enjoying the precious gift of life, this song is an emotional appeal where the poet exhorts not to become despondent by encumbrances or vigna. The lyrics further reflects how the young generation, with its innermost strength and unshaken resolve, like thunderbolt, vajra, and wisdom like ancient scholars and sages, much like Rishi Dadiji, should fight this calamity tirelessly and eventually march towards their victory.
Dance is the most beautiful form of expression of human feelings. Music and dance, when woven meaningfully with Abhinay, leave a long lasting impression. Today, we are about to witness some phenomenal talent depicted through our dance drama, Indra Sabha. The ballet is set in the celestial court of Raja Indra. The story deals with the love of Sabz-Pari with an earthly prince, Gulfam, whom she brings into her celestial realm. The jealous and angry Indra hurls Gulfam into a dark well on finding out, and Sabz-Pari too is banished. But through her music and dance, she wins back Indra's favor and she is reunited with her lover. The opera has a symbolic meaning as well, referring to divine and earthly love, very much like the poetic stories of the Persian poet Rumi. Like he said, तुम इश्क सीख लो, मगर उसे मोहब्बत के बगैर नहीं समझ सकते. The drama also exhibits the need to liberate women. A woman has every right to make her own choices, and her decisions ought to be respected. So without further ado, let's enjoy this musical and visual treat.
सभा में दोस्तों इंदर की आमद आमद है, परी जमालों के अफसर की आमद आमद है. खुशी से चहचहे लाजिम है सूरते बुलबुल, अब इस चमन में गुले तर की आमद आमद है.
अब लाओ सब्ज परी को, जो हो परियों की सरदार.
क्या कहूँ, सब्ज परी अभी आई सज धज कर सरकार।
फिर लाओ पुखराज परी को। पुखराज परी वाह, खुश हुई तुझसे महफिल सारी, अब है सब्ज परी की बारी।
सब्ज परी अभी नहीं आई सरकार।
अभी भी नहीं आई सब्ज परी, चांदनी है कि जाती है उतरी, तो आए फिर अब नीलम परी। बहुत खूब लाल परी, बहुत खूब। अब तो लाओ सब्ज परी को, जो है परियों की सरदार।
परी आई नहीं सरकार।
लाल देव रे लाल देव, हरगिज है अब सब्ज परी की दरकार।
राजा जी तो सो गए, दिया न कुछ इनाम। जाती हूँ मैं बाग में, यहाँ मेरा क्या काम। मुझे काले देख तू मेरी एक बात। आती थी राजा के घर में आज रात की बात। शहजादा एक काम पर सोता था नादान। सूरत उसकी देखकर हुई जान पहचान। जादू सिंगल दीप से अख्तर नगर के वहां रहता है एक मारू लाल महल पर वहां। ले आ उसको तू यहाँ, तेरा हो एहसान।
घर में राजा के है तू, परियों की सरदार। तुझसे कर सकता नहीं हरगिज मैं इनकार। अभी गया आया अभी, शहजादा होगा मेरे साथ। आता नहीं गरमान से तो सम्मान न होगा मेरे पास। लाया शहजादे को मैं जाकर हिंदुस्तान। तू अपने गुलफाम को सबसे परी पहचान।
यही है शहजादा, यही है शहजादा, यही है गुलफाम। देव तेरा है शुक्रिया, कर तू याद से तेरा।
घर से यहाँ कौन खुदा के लिए लाया मुझको? किस सितमगर ने सोते से जगाया मुझको?
जो होना था सो हुआ, जाने दो बस खेल। चलो फिरो खाओ पियो करो बाकी से।
महलों में रहता हूँ मैं, ऐश है मेरा काम। शहजादा हूँ हिंद का, नाम मेरा गुलफाम।
रहती हूँ मैं स्वर्ग में, सब्ज परी है नाम। राजा इंद्र के यहाँ नाच है मेरा काम।
जल्दी ये बतला मुझे, दिल को हो विश्वास। मेरा आना किस तरह
हुआ है तेरे पास?
यक बैक मुझसे परे को हुई थी उल्फत तेरी, शुक्र अल्लाह का है बन गई किस्मत तेरी।
सुनी इंदर की सभा मैंने कहानी में है, सुनी इंदर की सभा मैंने कहानी में है, उसका अरमान मुझे आंखों के पानी में है। साथ अपने ले चल के वो जलसा दिखला, इंदर के अखाड़े का तमाशा दिखला।
ऐसी बातों पर नहीं जुबान पर लाना अच्छा, जान आफत में नहीं मुफ्त गवाना अच्छा।
मैं ना मानूंगा कभी बात तेरी, काम किस रोज आएगी मुलाकात तेरी, वहां ना ले जाएगी तो जी से गुजर जाऊंगा, मैं अभी अपना गला काट कर मर जाऊंगा।
थक गए होंठ कहाँ तक अरे समझाऊं मैं, चल अखाड़ा तुझे इंदर का दिखाऊं मैं। सभा में बुलवा कर मुझे किया आप आराम, आई हूं मैं फिर यहाँ करने अपना काम।
सबा बांध दे सब्ज परी तू, लूट ले महफिल सारी, धुमरी छंद गजल की धुन हो, फिर कजरी की हो बारी।
खुदा के कसम से जरा दिन में काम, चुगल हो के मुंह ढलते रह जाऊं।
ऐ देव ये तू है क्या बक रहा, मेरे बाग में काम इंसान का क्या, उसे खींच ला पास मेरे शताब, के गुस्से से है हाल मेरा खराब। बता हाल आगे का है दर्दनाक, जलाकर वरना अभी कर दूंगा खाक।
सब जो है अखाड़े में यहाँ, वो आने लगी आज शब जो यहाँ, वही मुझे लाई है इंदर सभा में, जो चाहो वो सजा दो, गुनहगार हूँ।
सभा में लाई इंसाफ के साथ अब तेरा गिरबान और मेरा हाथ। ऐ देव, कर कसद बेदाग का, पकड़ हाथ इस आदमी दाद का। हुआ तो है एक आंख में पुरंदर, वहां ले जाकर अभी के कैद कर। शब्द के नोच कर पर और बाल, अखाड़े से मेरे अभी के निकाल।
राजा जी को रखे शादमा, जो हो जान बख्शी तो खोलू जुबा। परिस्ता में जोगन में आई है, खला ये सब उसकी तमाशाई।
ना देर करे देव बहरे खुदा, अखाड़े में मेरे उसे जल्द ला। हरी जोगन न दर्द की मुब्तला, फकीरों का क्यों भेष तूने धरा। किसे ढूंढती है कुबकू, उड़ाती है खाक जंगल की तू। क्या मांगती है?
राजा की दराई, जो मांगू सो पाऊं।
मांग, क्या मांगती है?
होता है कोई आन में अब काम हमारा, इनाम में दीजिए गुलफाम हमारा।
ऐ लाल देव, इस तरफ जल्द आ, बड़ा मुझको इस जोगन ने धोखा दिया। निकाल अब कुएं से तू गुलफाम को, हवाले कर इस नेक अंजाम को।
The first step in the evolution of ethics is a sense of solidarity with other human beings. We now present to you a short documentary on two unique initiatives conceptualized by our director, Ms. Lata Vaidyanathan. Thanksgiving and Leadership Camp. The students of Interact Club took upon a Thanksgiving initiative to showcase their appreciation and respect for the administrative and support staff during difficult times. Leadership Camp 2 provided a golden opportunity to take on physical as well as mental challenges and to be ready to take upon the world. Here is a short movie on the same.
1984 से हूँ और मेरे दोनों बच्चे यहीं से पढ़ के निकले हैं, कॉमर्स पढ़ के निकले हैं और MBA भी कर चुका बड़ा वाला बेटा, दूसरे ने जो है सॉफ्टवेयर का किया है। मैं स्कूल में पूरा ओवरऑल सारा काम करता हूँ और मैं बच्चों के साथ तो इतना लगाव रहता हूँ कि मैं बिल्कुल एक घर के हम परिवार हैं, टीचर्स हो गए, बच्चे हो गए।
दीदी, आप बच्चों को क्या कहना चाहते हो?
आप लोग हमारे बहुत टाइम से इतना कुछ करते हैं, आपके बिना स्कूल का कुछ हो ही नहीं सकता। ये स्कूल आप सबकी वजह से चल रहा है। हम आपको बहुत जो इनर फीलिंग होती है, जो हैप्पीनेस मिलती है, सेटिस्फैक्शन मिलती है बाय गिविंग समवन हु इज नीडी, और वी कैन से कि हाँ, वी गिव देम एंड फील सेटिस्फाइड within them.
We have always been taking and never giving, so that thanking someone for something that they've been doing for a really long time for us.
When you were giving it or serving them, they had this very satisfaction and gratification. It was from our side, but it was evident from their smile. So I think the aura was very positive today. So it felt good.
Our director ma'am encouraged us so much in the past days for this program, and so we were getting very good vibes from her also.
That while nurturing children, it's very important for us to understand that irrespective of the duties we have in life, irrespective of the occupations we have in life, there has to be an attitude of gratitude for children, to be thankful to people who make things happen for them. Now, that is very important because unless they work with their own hands, unless they want to give of themselves, unless they trouble the trouble within them, they will never know how difficult it is to be alive. And how difficult not just to do a task, but how difficult to continuously do the same task every day. They come to school, they find the school clean, they go to the toilet, they find it clean. They ask for help, they get it from teachers. They ask bhaiyas and didis to do things for them, it's all done. Everything is clean and wet coming out the entire campus. Who made all this happen during this entire pandemic? They had to come and work. At least we need to understand that all this is not always money. Money is the last thing. It can neither buy happiness nor buy everything you want in this world. So the act of giving, the way to give, the need to give, it has to be intrinsic. It is not drama. There has to be a feel. But the feel will come when they repeatedly do things like this. Therefore, I personally, in today's event, love the energy of the children. Make them, it's wrong to say we make them do it. We created circumstances in which they did things themselves. And that is
everybody in the house. Listening to people, it's a very important quality which a leader should have.
In opinion, this
Leaders should be accountable. He should accept the mistakes they have made. It's that the leader has to not dictate the others, but instead take inputs from each and everybody and get the best out of the group as a whole. Because that's
A very good evening to our distinguished guests, parents, and dear students. We are honored to have our esteemed chief guest, Ms. Namita Ranganathan. Ms. Ranganathan's association with Gyan Bharati School has been long, and that is what makes her familiar with the ethos and vision of our school. She is closely associated with late Shekhar sir. Over a period of time, she has recommended many CIE teachers to our school. She has been instrumental in contributing to the growth of our institution. Ma'am, I have not met you in person, but I have heard teachers at Gyan Bharati speak about you with a lot of respect and affection. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you everyone for watching today's cultural program. We hope that you enjoyed it and appreciate the efforts of the students and teachers. We are honored to have with us today Ms. Namita Ranganathan ma'am as our chief guest. May I now request her to address the gathering and share her thoughts with the students, teachers and parents.
Thank you so much. I would like to begin by saying good evening to the entire Gyan Bharati family, right from the chairperson to the littlest child in the kindergarten section. It has been an absolutely enthralling evening for me. And you know why I agreed to come here was that I have been a Gyan Bharati parent for over 25 years. I have a 39-year-old daughter and I have a 32-year-old son. And right from KG to class 12, they were in Gyan Bharati. So I've been a parent, I've also been a well-wisher of Gyan Bharati, I've also been an activist in Gyan Bharati, I was a member of the PTM. Because I work in the field of education, I was also part of, the changing curricula and teacher development processes, etc. So I had the courage to come here today. But believe me, and I would like to begin by first addressing the children, because the children or the students of a school are the real wealth of a school. And we saw today how much abounding talent there is. And in Gyan Bharati, the great thing is that, the Indian culture and the global world somewhere get synthesized and harmonized. So your child is no longer a misfit to continue in the country. And if your child goes abroad, the child can adapt and adjust very easily. So children, I think you should be very proud of this legacy which Gyan Bharati gives you. The other beautiful thing that I saw, whether it was the art and sculpture exhibition, whether it was, the group song which represented diversity, which the primary section put up, whether it was the orchestra which played both Indian and Western music, whether it was your dance drama, whether it was a synthesis of 3 Indian dance forms, whether it was, your Aao Diya Jalai, and finally your beautiful documentary film in which you captured what Gyan Bharati does for you. The great thing was that I saw an intersection of children. There were children from the primary, from the middle school, the senior school. They had all unified together. They had come together. They had collaborated. They had created synergy. And I think that is the beauty of Gyan Bharati. They teach you not to compete. They teach you how to collaborate. They teach you not to win medals. They teach you that participation is much more important. They teach you that school belongingness is important, and school is your second home. You must live it, you must feel it, you must experience it. And from your expressions, I could see it all. Even in the art form, it was your self-speaking. It was not art for the sake of art. It was not copied art. It was your self-reflection in your art. Even the little children of P2 and P3 had beautiful pictures which they had created and constructed. In fact, when we go to Gyan Bharati, you enter the gate, the building looks beautiful. So you see this large brick edifice, and then, you know, that multi-purpose space, which used to be an open-air space, which is your badminton court, it's your school stage, it's your yoga center, it's everything. That's also mesmeric because you can see the blue skies, you can see the glories of the sun, and you see lovely green gardens. There is cheer everywhere. And why is there cheer? It's because of you students. You make it cheerful. And then when you enter the foyer, which leads to the principal's room and the director's room, you see it adorned with students' art. You know, you really feel that this is the child's world. And I hope, children, you value all of this. You get terrific all-round education. You're taught how to be an achiever. You're taught how to pursue your passion and dream. And yet at the same time, you're taught how to be happy, to be human, and to be humane. And I think that's a great thing. What I will say for the teachers is that there is this great community where the teachers own the school. They kind of come across as parent surrogates. You know, I have been to so many PTMs, and my children did well sometimes, did not do very well sometimes. But never does a teacher scold you. Never does a teacher say, you know, your child is a low achiever. There is no labeling. They tell you, or they give you strategies about what to do and how to move ahead. They also tell you if your child is drifting too much into a direction where he or she will, you know, get diverted from core academia, which is also important because schools are temples of learning. So the teachers in Gyan Bharati are mentors, they are inspirers, they are counselors. And, you know, there are legendary teachers in Gyan Bharati. I had this great opportunity of being associated with Mr. M.N. Kapoor, who was the founding principal, because that's when my daughter joined the school, and right up to Mr. Shekhar's time. Of course, we lost Mr. Shekhar, which was a very, very big loss for the school. But I have known Madam Lata Vaidyanathan also in another capacity, and we have worked closely together in various teachers' forums. What I can say is that the teachers actually stand for leadership. The teachers stand for owning the school. The teachers stand not for looking at their work as a job, but they actually look at their work as a commitment, as a passion. And rarely will you find such a diverse set of teachers. I think the music and the art department, the aesthetics department of Gyan Bharati are also very, very rich. Because, you know, they have inspired, and we could see in today's performances, you could see the abhinay in the dance. You could see the creative self-expression speaking to you through the art. You could see in the leadership camp, you could see in the Thanksgiving camp, how much compassion, care, and empathy the students had. All this is possible only because of the teachers and, of course, the leaders of the school. When I talk about the leaders of the school, I don't put them in a separate category because I think Madam Vaidyanathan and Madam Jyoti Saxena are teachers first and leaders second. So, you know, when we define our identity by being part of a legacy, part of a culture, and we live for our school, Gyan Bharati is part of us. that is the success story of any school. And that is what most of the teachers stand as embodiments of. So I think that is a great thing. And I think parents, you must learn to value these things. You know, what we really must value is that the school is making our child an all-rounder. If you look at today's world, what do they want? They don't want only high achievers. They want people who are smart, who can take decisions, who can communicate effectively, who can collaborate with others, who can manage their lives, who have a sense of confidence and autonomy, who can stand up and protest if they need to, who can also bow in submission when they feel the need to do that. You also need children who can adjust to any part of the world. You need children who are equipped with all the 21st century skills that are required. You need children with a sense of values. You need children who respect the Constitution and the values which are enshrined in the Constitution. And I think Gyan Bharati epitomizes all of that. Sometimes as parents, we get totally caught up. You know, I've been a parent myself of Gyan Bharati, so I can speak with confidence. Sometimes we get totally preoccupied with our child's performance and we want our child to excel. We want our child to be a topper. We want our child to, surpass all other children. And we are disappointed. We go to teachers to protest at times. We go to teachers to negotiate. We go to teachers for advice. But what I will teach you, or with what I will appeal to you with, pardon me for saying I will teach you. I'm a teacher, so I tend to say teach you. I'm actually appealing to you as a parent myself. Please learn to value that the total culture, the total ethos of Gyan Bharati stands for making you a complete person. And today worldwide, whether it's the World Health Organization, whether it's the UN agencies which dominate, who is the celebrated human being? They talk about being happy, they talk about being human, and they talk about being humane. Okay? So when we are human, we will also have jealousy, we will have greed, we will have passion, which works negatively for us. But Gyan Bharati teaches us how to deal with all of that and how to actually push or bring to the fore that which is more enabling. Equality, universal brotherhood, social justice. You saw how the girls and the girls of Gyan Bharati were everywhere. They were leading, they compared the show so beautifully, whether they were little girls or whether they were girls of the senior secondary sections. Each of them showed you immense leadership potential. So that is what the school does for your child. And I think we need to value that today we need holistic education. We don't need only toppers. Because toppers often come to college, and believe me, I've been teaching in Delhi University for 35 years. So many of the toppers from different schools of the country come to us in Delhi University because we are quite a noteworthy university. And when they come to college, college is like a level playing field. No longer is it a small sheltered cocoon. You have to interact with so many people. You have to adapt to a completely new way of life. You have to make transitions. It is only schools like Gyan Bharati which prepare you to deal with life at large, which become enabling institutions. So let us always look at our child's school as a place which we have chosen. So we choose it ourselves as parents, that I want to send my child to Gyan Bharati. I made a conscious choice to put my children in Gyan Bharati. And therefore, I extended all support and I ensured that there was continuity between what the child's life at school was and what my child's life at home was. This home-school continuity, working in synergy, working in collaboration, and using dialogue and discussion whenever we want to ask questions is a great thing. I would like to end with one last observation. I have been in Gyan Bharati, and as I said, because I have scaffolded education and a lot of policy movements in education because of my training and my work, Gyan Bharati moved with what was called the development curriculum some 20 years ago. The children passed out. They're all over the world. The development curriculum enabled them to ask questions, to become fearless, to become bold, to become courageous, to explore their talents, to, understand their uniqueness, to express themselves freely. And I think these are great qualities. We did a study, Amita Govinda and I did a study on Gyan Bharati children, and we have been using Gyan Bharati as our internship preparation lab for many of our student teachers. And in that, we could see in the classrooms that the classroom is a happy space. The school is a very happy space. Children are full of energy. They are full of verve. They are full of enthusiasm. And the teachers have no sense of burnout. Of course, a lot of it flows with the leadership. I don't know the principal, but I can see from the quality of the program which was put up today that she is a great leader. And of course, Madam Lata Vaidyanathan, everybody knows. She's amongst the who's who, one of the most celebrated school leaders. And everybody knows how much care, compassion, and how much she stands for constitutional values. All of that is very well known. And she has this natural propensity to deal with all communities in the school. The parent community, the student community, everybody. So, I don't want to go on and on and on and on. But today I felt like it was homecoming for me. I felt so nostalgic. We used to come for the house functions. We used to come for the annual day. And the motto continues. Participation, every child is unique. Every child is a repository of talent. Let all of that emerge. And I must say, even in COVID times, you have been able to retain the humaneness and the naturalness and the spontaneity of the children. I must compliment the teachers and I must compliment the leaders of the school. It's a great day, great job done, and a great evening that I spent here. The non-teaching community, of course, will be thanked. Mr. Janardhan, whenever I went to him when my children were young with a problem, he solved it. And even today, he continues to be full of energy, full of verve. And Ghansham Bhaiya, we used to call him Ghansham Bhaiya. And my children still remember Ghansham Bhaiya. It was lovely to see him in the documentary film. Gyan Bharati, please continue to be one of the leading schools. Light the lamp, lead the lamp, Deep Se Deep Chali. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for inviting me. Today was a great day, which I really, really cherish and relish. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for being with us today. Your presence and purposeful erudition has always benefited us. We assure you that your words shall always be a source of inspiration. Finally, it's a great privilege for me to invite our esteemed school director, Ms. Lata Vaidyanathan ma'am, to share her reflections and insights about today's cultural program.
Good evening and namaste. After what I heard, I almost feel purposeless, attempting to say anything about the school or what it has done today. I don't know where to begin because I thought of something and something else has magically transformed me between Namita ji's very scholarly and extremely useful comments and entire 10 minutes, 15 minutes that she spoke, every word a gem. I want to just fold my hands and thank you so much, Namita ji. You roll every bit of what anyone would aspire to hear on their annual day, Founders Day, or a dedication day to the school community. Thank you very much, firstly, for accepting our invitation, spending the evening with us, and just saying everything that we want to hear, but more than that, having lived the experience. 35 years if someone has seen the school in terms of the age of her children that she mentioned. Is there anything that I can add to it? Completely purposeless. Any attempt on my part to say this was good or that was better has just no meaning. Therefore, I too want to begin with the children first and tell them that everything they did from Sri Krishna Sharanam to the entire primary department's attempt to sing the song We Are the World, and today in this belief of the world is flat and the earth is one and the planet we care for is important, people and planet should be the only thing that remains. For end of the day, in a connected world, any attempt to say any part of the world is superior or try to oppress anybody will only lead to self-destruction. This is time just to remind ourselves that can we move on from being a community of our country, which we must hold on to our heritage and roots, but also look at the entire picture outside of us and say, this is what we were groomed for. My dear children.
Ma'am, I'm sorry to interrupt, ma'am. I would request you to turn on your camera. Your camera is not on, ma'am.
Really?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, is that any better?
Yes, ma'am. Now you're visible. Thank you,
You know what had happened? I think that was the preview, and it's fine. Not being seen for a few moments because therein you could see my heart, hopefully, and not my face. So that's fine. All right. And you know what? I think she's walked you all through the entire events one after another, whether it was the song, dance, drama, theatre, the Indra Sabha, Naam Mera Gulfam, all the classical forms of dance, the Shivaranjani and the Hamsadhwani that we heard through the instrumental music. Oh my God, fills my heart. This is what I think makes our days and nights happen. So thank you very much, each one of you, for having put in this tremendous effort. Teachers and dear children, you were great. And the last documentary actually fills my heart because end of the day, through all that we nurture ourselves, are we good human beings? So as Namita ji said, human and humane. Can we be that in completeness so that we serve the community for whom we are made? Sometimes with our brains, sometimes with our hearts, sometimes with our skills, sometimes with our hands, and sometimes giving off ourselves. Not sometimes. Learn to give off yourself because that is what resonates and illuminates your spirit, and that's what makes you actually visible, dear children, dear teachers. It goes for all of us because learning is a journey. All of us are learning together, and thank you to the school that helps us be a good learner every day. I want to use this opportunity to add my own tributes to the richness that Pandit Birju Maharaj and Lataji brought to this beautiful country and made sure that our own culture and our own sense of music always stays alive in the hearts of millions of Indians all over the world, nay, the whole world. I also know that this has been a very difficult year, and because there are more parents listening in and more children and people around me, I want to offer my condolences to all the near and dear ones of the families that the children, parents, teachers have lost during this pandemic. But rest assured, hopefully all those ones who survived and who are living and moving on with their lives will make sure the lives of all will be peaceful in future and that the worst is over. We shall promise, at least through Namita ji to the rest of the world and through parents to the entire community around us, that our children and us will dedicate ourselves through our brilliance, through our skills, through our learnings, share, learn, collaborate, and try and make this world a better world to live in. Let, as some child I heard her say during her comparing, that if the school helps us not to compete, of course to collaborate and be everything else, but be the best version of ourselves and learn to get better every day, I think we have done our job. Thank you, each one of you. And as she said, some of the strong pillars are there to help us, starting from Ghanshyamji and Janardhanji, to the entire community of staff and helpers, teachers, and those past and present who have made this institution what it is, and it is upon our shoulders now to help it move a little forward while maintaining all its beautiful, fragrant essence that we are so privileged to receive from people before us. I know when we talk of Mr. M.N. Kapoor, I share legacies, and therefore I know what it means. I used to always jokingly call him the sword of Damocles on my head. And I always said, I think if he was good for the last century and us, with this continuation and aspiration for excellence, we hopefully will carry the lamp forward, and people to follow us will illuminate it further. Let there be only light in any kind of darkness, and let's all put our hearts and minds together to make sure that this inner glow of ours helps everyone in despair and everyone who needs help. Thank you, Namita ji. It was so lovely to hear from you that I cannot attempt to say anything more, and yet I've tried my 10 minutes with very great effort. Thank you, teachers. Thank you, everybody. And Jyoti, this is your first annual function that probably you're addressing. Welcome to this family. You also carry strengths, and there is some to learn and some to give for all of us at all times. Thank you very much, children. Congratulations. As usual, you have done me proud, done us proud. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your profound articulation. We really value your inputs and will always look up to you. May I now request our Vice Principal, Mr. Sanjay Bhardwaj, to propose the vote of thanks.
Namaskar. I feel honored to propose this vote of thanks on behalf of Gyan Bharati School. I would like to thank our chief guest, Mrs. Namita Ranganathan, for sparing her valuable time and gracing the event. Your thoughts have motivated all of us. I would like to take this opportunity to thank our chairman, Mr. Gopalan sir, management member, Mr. Gaurav Mohan Puri, and our director, Lata ma'am, for being the catalyst that inspire us. My sincere thanks to our principal, Jyoti Saxena ma'am, for guiding and supporting us. We are highly grateful to our PTA members and all other parents for the constant support. Thank you, dear children, for enthusiastic and incredible performance. I would like to express my deep sense of gratitude for the teachers and support staff to prepare and organize the function. Thank you all. It has been a great pleasure. Thank you.